First Lady Jill Biden visited Nashville yesterday to mourn the victims of the Covenant school shooting. Republican lawmakers stood alongside the First Lady during the somber vigil. And today, hundreds of protesters stormed the Tennessee Capitol demanding stricter gun control laws. The move comes after state lawmakers resumed work for the first time since Monday's mass shooting. Tennessee senators are expected to introduce the Safe School Act on Capitol Hill. And on Capitol Hill, some lawmakers believe Americans' free speech is under attack. A House panel is looking deeper into a censorship lawsuit which accuses the Biden administration of working directly with social media companies to censor free speech and public opinion. Capitol Hill correspondent Eric Rosales reports. So, Eric, what did witnesses say?
Well, good evening, Trace. You know, former Missouri Attorney General, now Senator Eric Schmitt, brought a lawsuit against President Biden and his administration. He claims that his investigation has uncovered evidence that President Biden and others, with the help of the FBI, has led the largest speech censorship operation in American history.
And no matter what your political affiliation is, government censorship should concern everyone. The Biden administration has coerced, cajoled, and colluded with social media companies to censor disfavored speech.
Senator Eric Schmitt testified this was a vast enterprise, from the Surgeon General pressuring big tech to suppress information about COVID to the FBI having monthly, then weekly meetings with social media companies regarding the release of information on the Hunter Biden laptop story. I caught up with the senator after his testimony. He says Dr. Fauci funded the Wuhan lab and went to work to discredit anyone who talked about the lab leak theory.
A friend of his emailed him and said, should I wear a mask on a plane? This is in March of 2020. He said masks are ineffective. And then, of course, he turns around and forces 5-year-olds to wear masks all day long. And we've seen the negative impact of that. So all along the way, this was about Dr. Fauci. It wasn't about the science. It wasn't about any of that. It was about power and control. And that's what we're trying to root out here.
Subcommittee members say if the public doesn't trust the system of justice, we have nothing.
The Attorney General himself, Merrick Garland, and his subdivisions of his agency are involved in this. And that's a scary thing because people are losing their faith in our institutions of government.
But Democrats called the hearing nonsense.
Social media companies actually amplify conservative voices. They do less to censor those voices. And everyone here should be alarmed when that amplification pushes out false and dangerous narratives.
Louisiana's Attorney General also gave testimony, and he's also brought a lawsuit against President Biden and the administration for misinformation on campaign on social media sites. Bottom line, Republican lawmakers tell me that they want the American people to know what's going on leading up to the 2020 election and how to find out ways to stop it from happening again in the future. Tracy?
Eric, before I let you go, I want to touch on something else. I understand the House passed a major energy bill today. What can you tell us about that?
Well, yes, they did. And actually, it's a signature piece of legislation. It's all part of their promise and commitment to America. They tell me that in the United States that it will make it less dependent on foreign nations such as our oil and things like that. It's also going to bring down inflation with this. So whether or not it's going to pass the Senate, that's another, we just have to wait and see on that. But that's the very latest from Capitol Hill.